Launching a business we know is no easy task, and according to the U.S. Census Bureau, less than a quarter of those businesses are minority owned. But one woman is making history here in Indiana. Karen sat down with the owner of Sip and Share to find out more about this. Good morning, Karen.
Well, good morning, Julia. Well, those statistics really make you stop and think. It did for Nicole Kearney, especially when she wanted to start her own wine business and found out that out of more than 8,000 wineries in the U.S., less than 1% are black owned.
So when I started coming to Mass Ave Wine on Tuesdays, it would do all these amazing tastings.
Meet Nicole Kearney, college professor turned community development worker turned winemaker.
And then coming to the tastings on Tuesday, you get to try wine. You're going to get the education that goes with it.
At Mass Ave Wines, where her journey began.
I always made sangria. And so just kind of morphed from there.
Morphed into making her own collection of wines, now sold in Mass Ave Wines.
We're also in Total Wine. So we just launched in Total Wine at the beginning of November.
And in 3 locations across the country. Kearney is one of 2 African-American winemakers in Indiana.
And 0.1% of black women winemakers in the country. Historically, we've done the work. We just didn't know we were doing it. But we have grown this country, and we've grown a lot of the agricultural base. We left to do more industrial work, and now we're kind of getting back to our roots.
Kearney released her 7-word wine collection in January 2019.
We wanted to give people, one, names that were easy to pronounce and say, but also to give people like an affirmation and an inspiring name.
Like manifest, intention, gratitude, love.
So we want to invoke a certain emotion and energy for people.
Conjure, the most popular wine, was sold out. Kearney introduced me to Abundance, one of her sweet red wines.
You'll give it a little swirl and let it open up because, wine, it's living, breathing. So it wants to open up. You want to give it that aroma. Yeah, so very aromatic. So you're going to get that blood orange right there on the nose.
And all of her wines are vegan.
So a lot of mass-produced wines, they use animal byproducts. So it could be egg whites, fish bladder, pork gelatin, crustaceans, any of those. So we use bentonite clay. Most people have had a clay mask. So it's the same thing. Same thing. You put it on your face, it pulls out the impurities. It does the same thing, and then it settles to the bottom.
Kearney says this is just the beginning of a long career making wines.
It's exciting. This is an exciting time for black winemakers.
So what's next for Nicole? Well, she plans on hosting virtual guided educational wine tastings in January. They'll be called Sip and Set Goals. So be on the lookout for those, and you can get more details on this story on our website, WTHR.com.